into writing some Scala code. We'll implement a function to compute factorial, not because it is particularly useful or challenging to implement, but rather that its boring list will allow us to focus on the underlying concepts. So let's define factorial. That takes n of type int and returns an int for n factorial. So if n is 0, then we want to return 1. Otherwise, we compute n times factorial of n minus 1, as we might expect. All right. And let's try this out on 3. And we get the expected result 6. Great. So let's write out some steps of evaluating factorial of 3. That upon calling factorial of 3, we're reduced to the body of the function if where n has been replaced by 3. So if 3 equals 0, then 1, else factorial, so 3 times factorial of 2, which, because 3 does not equal 0, would reduce to 3 times factorial of 2, which, and if we continue, would go again into the else block. So we would have 3 times 2 times the factorial of 1, three times 2 times 1 times the factorial of 0. And finally, factorial of 0 would go, so we would have this case where if 0 equals 0, then 1, else factorial 1, or 0 times the factorial of minus 1. And since 0 equals 0 in the true case, this would be the 1 case. So, right, so I left off accidentally the pending expression. So then we have 3 times 2 times 1 times 1, which after all the multiplications would get us 6.